Introducing Betty and Albert, the founders of Alberto Collections and the House of Tanzanite. Today they're going to be telling us the history of their company and how they started getting into Tanzanite and their whole amazing story.
Should we get started?
Let's get started.
Well, thank you everyone for taking the time today to come on this Facebook chat. I hope that it's an entertaining as well as inspiring hour for you. Thrilled to see you again and be with you during this quarantine and have some face-to-face contact and comments from live people. Just a little bit about Alberto Collections and House of Tanzanite. We started the jewelry trade of making beautiful rings, earrings, pendants, necklaces, and bracelets around the classic gemstones back in the 80s. Back then we had access to rubies, sapphires, emeralds. Of course, they were not treated at all. Everything was natural. Many of the stones were not even heated as they are today. And we started traveling the world, and people from different mines and different part of countries would come and visit us in 47th Street in Manhattan, and they would bring us their offerings. We would make some jewelry with pearls, mauve pearls. If you guys remember, mauve pearls were very popular back in the 80s. And freshwater pearls, there was no, these were the stones that we had access with. So mostly we dealt in precious gemstones, always looking at the beauty of the gemstone and thinking, what can we make with this gemstone to maximize the beauty of it and to bring the most out of this beautiful gemstone. So that's how Alberto Collections started, and we were doing well. We never made a whole lot of anything. It was always special stones and special cuts, beautiful colors, finer gem qualities, and we would take our time, me and Albert, and we would design it and make it, and we would have customers who would come and sell it. We would go around to different jewelry shows, gem shows, and we would sell our jewelry as wholesalers to the retailers as well. Our office was on 47th Street, right in the heart of the Diamond District in New York. And then one day, Albert's walking in the street.
Yep, I was walking on the street and my cousin was just in Africa and he saw me. And he said, Albert, I got a stone I bought in Africa, and it's from Tanzania. See if you like it. So he shows me right on the street, and I said, I like the colors. I told him, how many of these pieces you have? He said about 8, 9 pieces. I said, okay, I buy them all. He said, what, you want to buy all of them? I said, yeah, I like the color. Give me all of them. So he gave me, I bought all of those pieces, and I came and I made it in the jewelry, and
we were going on vacation that week. So we actually went on vacation to the island of St. Martin. And Albert's cousin was very happy that he had, sold the few pieces of the stone that he had. We didn't know much about it, but it was, we were going on vacation. So we go on vacation.
And, I show it to a couple of my customers. To the beach, we were, I show it to a couple of my customers, and they like it and they buy it. And, we were sitting at the beach, and I start swimming in the water with the gargle on, and I see thousands of fish, the color of Tanzanite, and they were following me. I got, oh, this is God's sign that, you know, I got to go into Tanzanite business. I should buy a lot of Tanzanite. So I come out and I tell Betty, I had this thing, you know, I saw all these fish the color of Tanzanite, and I'm gonna put all of my money into Tanzanite business. This is God's sign that I should do Tanzanite. And Betty said, oh my God, I knew you were crazy. We are gonna lose all our money. I shouldn't have married you.
Well, back then, I have to say, nobody knew what Tanzanite was. It was a beautiful stone. I like the color. I love the hue, and that no other gemstone had this shine and this cleavages and the sizes that it was available in. But I was very hesitant, very scared of this venture. Because actually nobody knew what Tanzanite was. So we go back to New York, and someone else comes, a South African guy comes in with a whole bag of Tanzanite, and we're like, wow, what is this stone? Is this Tanzanite? And he's like, yeah, this is Tanzanite. And the story behind it is that a group of expeditioners were commissioned by Tiffany and Company to go to Africa looking for fine and cashmere color sapphires. And in their expedition, they discovered this stone that has a lot of the color of the sapphire. It looks like sapphire, but it wasn't a sapphire. And then they discovered that it only is available in this part of the world, in the country of Tanzania. They found it at the Mount Kilimanjaro, and they named the stone Tanzanite after the country of Tanzania where it was discovered. The Tanzanite stone had specific characteristic. It was not as hard as sapphire. The color was like a cobalt blue with like a velvety sheen. Reflections of purple would come out of it. Sometimes in the light you would see hues of red coming out of it. There's no other stone in the world that had the color of Tanzanite. But anyway, he told us that Tiffany had exclusivity on this stone for many years, and because their exclusivity finished now, other miners and other people have availability, and they can acquire this stone as well. So this guy came in with a big bag of Tanzanite, and we looked at it in our office, and my goodness, they were all like big cushion cut stones, big trillion stones, beautiful ovals, rounds, emerald cuts, but in sizes and cleavages besides the rubies and sapphire and emeralds that we were used to. Even mauve pearls were like a big stone back then, but it was only round, or it was only pear-shaped. This stone had facets. It had a life to it and a shine to it that no other stone had. So Albert, again, remembering his dream and committed to buy Tanzanite. Of course, this guy wants to sell everything. He buys everything, and we end up making a lot of new molds and models for the upcoming several months around the cleavages and the sizes of these stones, like 10 millimeter trillion, 12 millimeter cushions, 10 millimeter rounds, 15 millimeters, unusual sizes and shapes, and we make a beautiful collection of Tanzanite jewelry, and we take it around the States to the stores that we were working with, and everyone says, wow, this is a beautiful collection, this is a very nice stone, but how are we going to sell it? None of our customers know what this is going to be a hard sell. Everyone was hesitant to carry it in their case. So a few months passed, and we have the collection made, and no one's so interested because they don't know what it is, and we go back to St. Martin, our favorite island, and we see that near the port there's a jewelry store, maybe the size of a hallway, and a few young guys are working in there. They have a nice boutique type of a store, and a beautiful showcase, and we show them the collection and we say, well, what do you think about this? This is a new stone. It's called tanzanite. It's from the country of Tanzania, and it's mined only in one place. It's a new discovery. And they're like, you know what, we like this stone. Everyone loves blue, and we have a lot of people who come, you know, with cruises to the island of St. Martin, or they come on their vacation. So why don't you leave some of your collection here, and we'll promote it, and we'll see what the reaction is. So there we left the first collection of tanzanite in their store, and we called them after a month and said, well, hey guys, how's it going? How's the response with the tanzanite? They're like, you know what, people like this stone. Can you bring us some more? We're selling it. And that's how the manufacturing and production of tanzanite increased, and it became so popular as we introduced it into other islands. And finally, the stores in the States, after a few years, we put a lot of time into promoting the name of tanzanite, promoting the stone of tanzanite, making a variety and a different collection of tanzanite for every taste. Classic styles, yellow gold. Back then there was no rose gold, of course. Different sizes, men's jewelry, bracelets, necklaces. The collection was completed, and our promotion went on and on for 3+ years until we went to the JCK show in Las Vegas. It was the first year that they had moved the show from New York actually to Vegas, so everyone was excited to go to Vegas and be in a different vibe and atmosphere. And a lot of the stores and department stores, chain stores, everyone in the States was looking for something new and attractive, and what it was tanzanite. Everyone was looking for tanzanite. A lot of people would have purchased tanzanite on the cruise ships or in the island of St. Martin, and they would come back to their jeweler and they say, hey, I bought this ring, do you have an earring matching to it? I want a tanzanite necklace to go with it. So the stores also, with all the promotion and advertising behind it, they started carrying tanzanite. And for this show in Las Vegas, Albert came up with the name of House of Tanzanite, because we probably had the most complete collection of fine quality tanzanite back then and to date. So we go to the show, and it was a big hit, and we almost sell out. We didn't know what to do. We had a small factory. We were 2 people, and all our time went into production of tanzanite. We didn't have time to make the rubies and sapphire and emerald jewelry anymore, because the consumption of tanzanite and the way this beautiful stone was received was so overwhelming that we just had to keep buying tanzanite and making tanzanite. And thank goodness we had all these new molds and models made around the cleavage of tanzanite and sizes of this stone.
And what did the people at JCK tell you when they saw you named your booth House of Tanzanite?
Yeah, it was funny. A few people came to me and they laughed at me, and they said, what are you going to name yourself next year when tanzanite dies?
So people didn't really believe in it at the beginning. They thought it was just a fad.
For many years, people didn't know it, and it took a lot of time to educate the consumer and the stores about the characteristic of this stone. And there are many beautiful gemstones around the world, but tanzanite is one that is found only in one small mine, a few kilometers long, in one location in the entire world. And the beauty of it is that it looks like your fine sapphire, but it still has sizes and cuts that you don't see in any other stone.
And the luster.
It's really mesmerizing. To date, I think today Tanzanite has its own place in every showcase, in every store. We supply Tanzanite to all the Caribbean islands, all the chain stores and department stores, and I think still to date, anyone who's looking for a fine quality AAA color Tanzanite, they reach out to House of Tanzanite. Throughout the years, Tanzanite has been a journey. We have come through many different designs. We actually would make drawings specifically for the cleavage and size of Tanzanite and then make the jewelry around those stones. And to date, still many of our pieces are unique and one of a kind because there is only one of that stone. A lot of the sizes and cleavages of the Tanzanite is not your standard size. There are a lot of off sizes. So even if you see an oval stone, it's an oval stone with maybe a row of diamond around it. But the cleavage of that stone is not readily available. It has to be made from scratch. And that's why the Alberto collections, part of the House of Tanzanite, looks very unique and beautiful because there's a lot of detail that's put into it.
Do you want to show them some of the older designs?
Of course. This is probably from the late 80s or early 90s where we had beautiful cleavages of Tanzanite, and Tanzanite was at its peak and very new. And actually Alberto designed a collection of Tanzanite with opal, which you can see here. And he physically sat down, he made the drawings around the gemstones, and we would make it into bangle bracelets that had the inlay opal with the Tanzanite and diamond in yellow gold. And we started buying the opal and cutting it into slices, actually right downstairs from this room in our factory. Needed a whole new department and people who would know when you look at the opal what side to cut it from, how to cut it.
And we called it Tanzopalia, which became very popular.
Yes. And how'd you come up with that name?
I don't remember. How did you say?
It was Tanzanite and opal combination, and we called it Tanzopalia. Probably Alberto was the only company that was making the Tanzanite and opal production in the States, in New York. So the journey of Tanzanite has been amazing, and May 7, 2020 marks the 35th anniversary of Alberto Collections and House of Tanzanite, that evolved from really an inspiration, a bunch of fish following Albert, and believe me, that's how it's been all the time, with an instinct and just, following your gut and making the most of it. So we feel very blessed to be able to bring everyone the beauty of Tanzanite in finished jewelry and keep the House of Tanzanite going for another 35 years.
Amazing. So we have a lot of requests to see this whole spread up close.
Absolutely. I want to mention that House of Tanzanite today is selling through cruise ships. We have, like Giovanni, who was on the call, Teresa, who's right now in Spain. They represent us on the cruise ships with the unique pieces. We have many of our stores that are carrying Tanzanite for their special customers, because a lot of the bigger pieces are items that people love to have, but it necessarily is not items that's in everyone's day-to-day cases. They are special pieces. So if you have any requests for any special Tanzanite, whether something that you see here or something that you have in mind, please reach out to us or to your sales associates, and we'll be happy to make your dream come true. I want to go over some of the designs that we have here. So we focus on the pear shape that has diamonds going all around. This is a beautiful classic design, 28.78 carats of pear-shaped tanzanite center, surrounded by only 24 diamonds, totaling 2.7 carats. And this magnificent beauty is made on 18 karat gold. But when you look at a piece like this, you're like, no, what? This is just a pear shape with, diamonds going around. What's so special about it? Every piece that's made here is made with utmost attention paid to detail. It's not a piece that you would take it and you put the tanzanite in it. So the size of the tanzanite, the way that it sits on the side, the way the chain goes through it, it's all special details that are supposed to be mentioned with this feature. Then I want to bring your attention to this beauty, also made in 18 karat gold, 30.62 carats of tanzanite. Again, 24 diamonds, totaling 2 carats. And this is with a popcorn chain mounted on 18 karat gold. The Alberto collection tanzanites are statement pieces. The focus is always on the main gemstone, which is the tanzanite. As you can see, the saturation of the color, the way the diamonds are placed around it, the way the chain goes through without you seeing anything. It's just a seamless production. Sometimes we change it a little bit with a twist. This is another piece that is made with a 40 carat .56, one single tanzanite, 40 carats and 56 points with 2.47 carats of diamonds, also mounted on 18 karat gold. This is one of the more updated styles where you can see there's a finished gallery in the back with our logo. The center stone weight of every piece is inscribed independent. You can see the side gallery and the finishing of it. And again, when the tanzanite parcels come into our office, we scrutinize every single piece with the light under the microscope to make sure that there is no bubbles in it. There are a lot of tanzanites in the market that look dark, but they're microscopic size of a dot, like almost like a bubble, that you can see it only with a loop with a special lighting. Throughout the time, with exposure to light, heat, and normal wear and tear, these dots can open up into like a hairline and then into a crack. So Alberto tanzanites are all guaranteed not to have any internal bubbles. They have a lifetime warranty, as again every other piece from any of our collections. And we scrutinize and we really select the cream of the crop from the tanzanite production for our tanzanite. I want to bring your attention to this style, which is different with it's like a chevron channel set with a beautiful pear-shaped tanzanite. This is carrying a 45 carat .20 tanzanite and 107, only 6 diamonds weighing 1.07 carats. It's made in 14 carat. So these pieces, they can carry you everywhere. It's a modern design that you can wear it, or like many of our classic designs with a twist. The bigger gemstones have been more difficult to find just because the way the supply is at the moment, they are not cutting any large gemstones. So this is the selected pieces that we have that is mounted, and we don't know what's going to be with the supply of tanzanite in the upcoming months, but I have not seen many pieces suitable for these big sizes.
We actually have a lot of questions about the bigger tanzanites. What's one of the biggest tanzanites that you've sold or had in your collection?
The biggest tanzanite that House of Tanzanite acquired was actually 149 carats. It is sold. People buy these bigger tanzanites as an investment. It's like keeping your money in the bank and also enjoying it while you have it. Historically, the value of gems and jewelry, as well as tanzanite being one of them, has not been depreciated. These gemstones only go up in value. So actually, this pendant was 149 carats. It was a little bigger than an egg, and it was sold, and of course it was the only one that we had. The second biggest tanzanite that we had was this magnificent oval. I think the picture of it is on our website as well, and that was about the size of an egg. Beautiful, and we adorned it with baguettes. It was actually very difficult to make these big pieces, not because they were just grand, but to find a design that brings out the most of this stone. I think each one of them took us between 12 and 13 months from the time that we acquired it until it was completed. And of course, those are no longer available, and we'll see when Mother Nature will give us the next big tanzanite to work on. I'm excited and I can't wait. Alberto Collections today carries a beautiful selection of pendants. I want to bring your attention to this piece here, which is a bicolor tanzanite. It's blue and green, and it's a carved stone. It is a unique one-of-a-kind piece in a butterfly shape. Very simple frame. Then look at the back with the Alberto logo on it. Even the chain is special. It's the chains that you can, like a bolo, make longer or shorter. So you can wear it in any length that you want. And this is a special tanzanite, 30 carats of carved and 3.54 carats for the center gemstone, adorned with one diamond. And it has matching earrings. This is probably the only one that we will have in that particular style, because I have not seen so many bicolored tanzanite, and because Alberto has a collection of bicolored gemstones, we are thrilled to have this item in our collection. Again, the design is classic and simple, frame finished with the logo in the back. When you have a purchase from House of Tanzanite, you are sure that you have acquired a top quality tanzanite with great workmanship that will last you forever and ever. And a lot of the House of Tanzanite pieces, they're items that are passed down from generation to generation. They will only go up in value. I want to bring your attention to this pendant, which is your classic with a little bit of a twist. It has princess cut diamonds on the four north, south, east, and west corners. This is a 12.56 carats, finished with beautiful round diamonds and princess cut diamonds on a little rope design. And look at the finishing in the back. And now the CAD is allowing us to make these special designs for the pendant. These are timeless pieces that will last a lifetime and more. Here we have a 21.46 carats This pendant, guys, has 198 diamonds
Wow.
around it that is set in a beautiful design in a pear shape, and look how the back is finished. And the chain goes through, very seamless, very classic. So Alberto specializes in pendant. We're not a company that only has rings. You see a lot of rings in the market, but pendants are actually our second best sellers after the rings. This particular piece is a 18.60 carat tanzanite. Here's a 7 carat tanzanite that is beautiful. This is one of my favorite, with the diamond by the yard chain and a trillion cut. Then, you know, we have a 2.65 carat stone here with the two-tone. Again, you know, it's your traditional halo, double halo, but look at the details. Look how the diamonds come up on the sides and kind of like wrap around the back of this beautiful pendant. And we made this one in a two-tone. And again, all of these shapes, they're not your standard 8 by 10 or 10 by 12 standard sizes. These are all sizes that were cut to maximize the beauty of the stone. We never think about, let's make the size a calibrated size because it'll be easier to set. We just think about what is the best cut and the best size to maximize the beauty of the stone, to bring out the most of the color. So as you see, the designs are classic, but classic with a twist. A lot of variety in the shapes. You have beautiful cushions, beautiful pear shapes, ovals, and styles that would really carry you everywhere. Bracelets, and bangle bracelets. Albert, you want to demonstrate the new bangle and how it opens up and how nice and flexible it is to put on.
By the way, half of the things she said I was supposed to say, but she never gives me a chance to say.
So rose gold is also a statement with tanzanite. I think tanzanite really looks vibrant in rose gold, and rose gold is one of my favorites for tanzanite. If you want to go over the earrings, maybe.
Sure.
We have a lot of styles of earrings. Earrings are becoming harder and harder to make just because we cannot get matching pairs in the super dark colors that we want. So as soon as we get a parcel that is calibrated, I go ahead and I match the earrings as many pairs as we can, which is becoming harder and harder. You know, the supply of tanzanite is not a regular supply. They have a lot of political problems in the mine. They have a lot of mining problems because they need different and better equipment. There's a lot of exporting and governmental problems. So for us to make, you know, a bracelet that has 7 to 17 stones, or to make a pair of earrings, or, you know, making matching pieces is becoming more and more challenging as the times go by. But we do have a great inventory, and I'm so thrilled to share it with you today. I want to go over some of these rings that are, you would say, your moderate sizes. But look at the color of the round, and look at the saturation of the color. The baguettes bring it out. So the styles with Alberto is always classic with a twist, and it's meant to bring out the most of the stone and show you the beauty of this unique gem.
We have some bigger rings here.
We do. My favorite.
And if anyone has any questions about any specific piece you see here, you can always drop a comment on this live video, or send us a message on Facebook, or email us at support@albertocollections.com so we can get you some more information.
Another thing that I want to mention, this year Alberto came up with the design of using tanzanite with colored gemstones. And this is actually the two new pieces that came out with, I think we had three of them. One of them, I believe the first one that we made was sold like a week after we made it. But this is a new concept that Alberto has come up with using color on color and the contrast of pink and tanzanite together.
Wow.
It could be, this one is a pink tourmaline.
Yes.
The oval one is a pink sapphire. They both look magnificent, fresh, and new. And you can see the saturation of color and the contrast against gold and diamond is really beautiful. This collection here is called Moi et Toi, for the French you and me, and it's a more fashion forward, and again a different twist of tanzanite. So these are pieces that are fun and great, and you still enjoy the beauty of tanzanite.
And how about these bracelets here?
You know, bracelets, making bracelets, like the traditional bracelets where you have numerous stones, is becoming more and more challenging. It's very hard to find tanzanites now in these sizes with this saturation of color. It's really throughout the years, if one thing has become more challenging is the saturation of color. Of course, a small stone cannot hold as much color as a bigger gemstone. But as you can see, the tanzanite collection that we carry is the cream of the crop. It is the darkest, best, most saturated color, whether it's a 1 carat stone or a 40 carat stone. But making this type of bracelets with numerous stones, matching them in the saturated colors is very, very difficult, just because the mines are not producing the material that is suitable in the color that we need. And of course, if the color is not AAA, we're not going to use it for Alberto Collection and House of Tanzanite.
We have a question from Lori on Facebook about how this bangle is so flexible.
This is a new type of a technique that we're going into. This is made with a flex wire. So you can see that there is a stretchy flex in the gold. And this is done when they mix the alloy of the gold from pure 24 karat gold down to 14 karat. And that gives this bangle a flexibility to put it on and off. Listen, you just slide it on.
So easy.
There. And then you just slide it off, and it's very easy. Does not go out of shape or form. It's like a rubber band kind of a thing. You stretch it, and then it goes back and extracts the way it is. I love this new selection of bangles. We have quite a few of them to introduce to you. Hopefully when the stores open up, they're very easy to put on and off. You can wear it with other bracelets or your watch, and the single stone gives it a super trendy look and a high fashion.
Let's see the rings that you're wearing today. Everyone always loves what you're modeling.
I'm wearing very classic stones, very classic designs. This one is actually my tanzanite ring that may even have some scratches. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's a simple stone, but a lot of detail went into making this piece. I love it because it's flat, and you can see the design on the side. even though it's a regular halo with diamonds around, look at the thin band and look at the detail on the prong and how the gold is curved around each stone to give it a different look. This is one of my favorite styles, and I took it for myself, which happens a lot of times.
She's right.
Well, you want to tell the story of when things become too expensive?
What's that story?
Yeah. You know, whenever I make something and a nice bigger piece and we price it, it comes out too much money. I'm worried that it's not going to sell. I tell Betty, so I'm worried this is not easy to sell. The price came up too much. And she says, don't worry, honey. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to wear it.
And that is true. I love every single piece that we make. Actually, when I, help the production in making these pieces, I think that I'm making it for myself. So we always go a little extra mile to put in the detail that's needed. And price never matters because it's a well-made piece, and I'm not going to cheapen out the gold or cheapen out the diamond or do anything less on the design to make it less expensive. It's a beautiful stone. These are not fashion jewelry. These are pieces that last a lifetime, and they should be adorned and worn and enjoyed. It's like having your money in the bank and wearing it at the same time and enjoying it. So the finishing touches are super important to me. And really, if anything doesn't sell, I'll be happy to take it and wear it myself.
How about your pendant? They're asking about the pendant you're wearing too.
This pendant also is super special. One that actually made from pieces that were left over in the office. So we had some baguettes left, and they weren't enough to make a ring. They weren't enough to do anything with. So I made this design for this pendant, and the top was designed by Alberto. And again, it's a piece that I truly, truly love, has a lot of details and has a lot of memories behind it. It was not an easy piece to make, but I can wear this piece every day when I go out, and I can also wear it when I'm going out for a dinner or to an event. So it carries me everywhere.
And how about men's? Alberto men's gents collection.
We have a lot of men jewelry, mostly, with the center tanzanite and diamonds around it. People and men really love it. They enjoy it very much.
The styles that we use for the men's, as you can see, it's like more of a bezel set, so it protects the center. So for men, it is very wearable and something to enjoy. And this is my new favorite, the Moire Etoile with the oval center. Again, a thin band and a pear shape. I really love this style. We made a few of them, and I'm thinking maybe I should take that for myself since it's available.
So the Moire Etoile is like a two-stone with an open shank.
It's a two-stone with an open shank, but look how beautiful it is and how different it looks on. Not your, traditional tanzanite, but you have the value of two nice size stones, great quality, saturated color in a very classic style. You can wear it on any finger with any other jewelry that you may have. We did a lot of smaller Moire Etoile rings, but this is one of the bigger ones, and it's super special with a 6 carat center tanzanite and the 30 points pear-shaped diamond on the side. So it's another one of my favorite pieces. But tanzanite is a classic stone, and because it is mined only in one location in the entire planet Earth, I want everyone to look at it as an opportunity. These stones are not going to be available forever and ever. They are available for some years, and then they're no longer going to be available. And tanzanite is one of the very few stones that is left that is not treated. It's 100% natural. And it's magnificent that the nature is giving us a stone with this beauty and this color and so much depth naturally. It's just so beautiful.
And we had one question about what determines the value of a tanzanite. Are there certain characteristics or...
Well, what determines the value of the tanzanite is the color. The darker the color is, the more expensive it is. And the size, the bigger the size is, the more expensive is per carat. Because it's more difficult to find it, you can't, it doesn't come out of mine so much, and that determines the color. As you may see, we use the finest and the darkest color of tanzanite. There are a lot of lighter tanzanites in the market that we never buy, we never use, and it's we don't like them.
I think also the supply and demand has something to do with the value of the tanzanite. The tanzanite mine is a small mine. It's only one location in Tanzania that they find this stone, and when this mine depletes or it runs out of the supply, then of course the value will go up a lot. So always the supply and demand plays a part in the pricing of tanzanite, and we've seen that throughout the 30 years that we have been dealing with tanzanite. Occasionally the mine, it has closed up to an entire year where they had bad fortune with floods and a lot of rain going into the mine, and then they couldn't dig deep enough because their equipments were not good. Then throughout the years there's been political problems between the government and where the stones should be cut. So there's all kinds of situations in the tanzanite mine that also has a role in determining the price of the tanzanite. But I want everyone to think of these beautiful gemstones as a limited opportunity. Believe me, they're not going to be available forever and ever. They will run out. And if you see something, especially from the House of Tanzanite collection, get it, because it's very limited. Like pieces like the double colored tanzanite or any of our larger stones, once we sell out, and recently actually right before the pandemic we sold quite a few bigger pieces, and I don't even know if we can replace some of those tanzanites that we sold just because they're not available.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think the last thing, submit any more questions in the comments if you guys have anything to ask before we sign off. The last piece we didn't see are your earrings.
Oh.
Everyone loves to see what you're wearing, so...
I picked these earrings because of the shape, and I go to the supermarket with these earrings, and I'm gonna wear them when I go out to an event at night or a dinner Saturday night in the city when the restaurants open. They're truly, classic pieces. They'll take you, Tanzanite takes you day and night and 4 seasons around.
All right. All right, looks like there's no more questions, so we'll sign off now.
I want to thank everyone for taking time to joining us this Friday afternoon. Wish you all a great weekend. Be safe, stay healthy, and I'm really looking forward for the stores to open so I can join you and see you soon at our next event. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
And if anyone has any other suggestions for next week's live, please send us a message or comment below. We love to hear all of your ideas.
Absolutely. Tell us what you want us to talk about, because we are here for you. We want to make it interesting, entertaining, and fun, and maybe somewhat educational also about the different gemstones. So looking forward to seeing you soon at the next chat and soon at your stores.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.